My name is Johan Eriksson. I'm the Director of Entrepreneurship and a visiting instructor at Washington Baptist University. I've been asked to share a couple of thoughts around my perspective and experience on going on mission trips, both as a participant and as a team captain with Honduras Baptist Dental Mission. We just came back from our third trip where we went to Suntalar, close to the Euro province, to do a construction trip. But my first experience started with a medical trip several years back. A friend of mine reached out one day and said, "Hey, you want to go on a trip?" And that's really how simple it was to join a mission trip. I had never been, I always been curious about it, and my friend just asked, "Hey, can you go?" So I went certainly on a medical trip. I was responsible for reading glasses, and I remember coming back from that trip just what an impact it had on me, how special it was to be part of sharing the good news, how to serve the local community that we went to. And I remember thinking, if I ever have another chance to do this, I want to go. And a few years later, I was working with a men's discipleship group up in Northwest Arkansas. And we decided we wanted to go. We wanted to serve and we wanted to do something. So I called John Ward, who I had met in the first trip, and said, "Hey, John, we got 11 ragtag guys that just want to serve. We want to help. What can we do?" And talking with John, we decided, why don't we try to build a couple of houses? And I think that's how the construction side of Honduras Baptist Dental Mission kind of was birthed. Just 11 guys saying, "Hey, what can we do?" So that's what we did. We went down to the same place where we just came back from, to Suntalar. We mixed concrete on the ground, we carried blocks, we stacked blocks, and we built 2 cinder block homes. And it was just an absolutely amazing experience. Leaving that trip as well, I felt, man, if I ever have another chance to do this, I would love to do that. And that's what happened just a couple of weeks ago. When I joined Washington, I was asked to help breathe life back into a coffee business that we had started several years back in a partnership with World Gospel Outreach. And we had partnered with an orphanage in Honduras with the hope of one day sourcing coffee and selling coffee for our Dr. Jack's coffee business. Our business is really focused on 3 things. We try to create an environment for our students to learn business and run a business. We want to do good with our coffee business, meaning we want to put all the funds that we can get from it to give back. And particularly, we have a heart for coffee growing nations. And then third, we want to really find really good coffee. So thinking about that, one of the first calls that I made was back to John Ward and saying, "Hey, John, I have several students that are passionate about coffee. They're passionate about serving. They're passionate about giving back. What can we do?" And again, we decided, you know what? Why don't we try to build some homes to the coffee growing families? And so that's what we did. We raised a team of 15 students, 2 leaders, and we went, and we just came back from that. So just a couple of perspectives on kind of all those trips. The first one will be, all it really takes, whether you're a captain or not, is to ask the questions. Would you want to go? And that's been the key thing for all 3 trips. In this last trip, we asked the students, would you want to go? And we asked them to come with ideas on how we could do it. We didn't really know how we were going to fund it. We didn't really know how many would go. All we knew that we wanted to go, we wanted to serve, we wanted to make a difference. So as a team captain, one of the things that I would encourage you is, well, first of all, try to set the scope of what you're trying to do. And working with John and the team, it makes it so easy. John, his whole crew, they manage all the logistics, they manage all the structures. There's really not much you have to do from a planning standpoint on that end. And knowing that makes the trip so much easier to kind of help lead and to plan out. So we knew that. So we went to our students and say, "Hey, here's the situation, here's the trip, here's your opportunity. What do you want to do? How do you want to play?" And our students was remarkable. They were absolutely fantastic. We had several different fundraising initiatives. The word spread to friends in all over the country. We had a young girl in Dallas that supported our trip. We had a sweet lady down in Houston who had come and spoken to our students at campus. They heard about our trip and wanted to contribute to it. So one thing, I guess another thing is as a team captain is extend the invite. There might be people that may not be part of your initial core group that will hear about this, want to participate in that. It's certainly been one of the great blessings from my experiences on all my trips. We've had participants outside our core group to go, and we've had many people support the endeavor as well. Let's see, what else could I share? As you start to plan out, I think what's really important is to set just very, very clear objectives and be very, very transparent. We had a saying in our group that we'll be on Honduran time. There will be several things as a captain that you may not know exactly. And some things you can be prepared for, some things you cannot. We experienced severe travel delays on our way back home. It's a little bit out of your hand, but you just have to trust that God brought you there, God will bring you home, and John and the team took really, really good care of us. So to some degree, you have to expect the unexpected. And the other part is you just want to set very, very clear objectives and be very, very transparent. And most importantly, invite everyone into the process. And I think doing that, the last 2 trips that I've been part of leading, what had made that trip so special is that everyone was part of the process and everybody contributed. So that'd be my advice as a team captain. And then finally, just go. Ask people to go. It will be the trip of a lifetime. And if I can be of any help, any resources, or if you ever want to chat, John, Larry, and Dr. Eddie has my contact. Looking forward to chatting, looking forward to hearing about your trips. Let's go.